Okay, so how you doing, Martin?
I've been good, thank you. I've been good. I've just kind of been starting a little bit of a prep this season, so I'm at the kind of nice, easy phase where you feel good, energy's still good, and it's yeah, not too taxing.
So how
How
far
are
how
you?
far into it are you? Into the prep are you?
Um, I am what about 9 weeks in now?
9 weeks in.
Yeah,
How many have you got left? If you don't mind me asking.
a lot, a lot. I had a good bit to shift, so the plan with it was to drop down to within striking distance, maybe 4 or 5 kilo above stage weight, and then kind of go to a maintenance point for a month or so, depending on how long it takes to get to that point, and then dig in for the last wee stage. I think the kids call it a pre-prep diet these days.
Free prep. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So for the benefit of the listeners, and the viewers, Martin. In fact, actually, Lamont is a Scottish name, right? And you pronounce is it Lamont?
I pronounce it Lamont. Are you
Yeah,
Lamont?
yeah, Lamont. Yeah, but it's actually Lamont because it's a Scottish name, right?
I pronounce it Lamont when I speak on the phone and I need somebody to know how to spell it.
So yeah, you are a WNBF world champion, and that was in
Yes,
2021,
correct.
and also WNBF judge.
Yes.
And that's what I know of, but I know there's more that I don't know of, but that's what I know of.
Yes, I've also won a British title with the IBFA in the untested side.
Okay.
So I competed with them from 2017 through to 2021. So it was a nice kind of experience that for me as well. I did their version of classic, which is quite good as a natural. You can go into the untested and do whatever their variation of classic physique is and be pretty competitive.
Right, so what class did you win your world title in? Was it a classic as well, or?
No, it was open in the WNBF. Any time I compete with a natural federation, I'm an open bodybuilder. I always see myself as an open bodybuilder. I don't think I've got a classic looking physique in any stretch. But when I compete with untested federations, the classic class allows me to be competitive because I can get in a good condition. And obviously, I've got enough size to compete with the untested guys on that side. So yeah, any time I would ever do a classic, it's an untested federation.
Yeah, because you do. I've not met you in person yet, but you do look big. You do. So what's your normal if there's a ballpark of your stage weight? What's it been
Stage
roughly?
weight is anywhere from 72 kilo now till about 73, 74, somewhere in that window, typically speaking. I have over dieted in the past and been on stage late 60s, which is a learning curve I think most natural bodybuilders go through, like in the pursuit of condition, that you're
Mm.
going to sacrifice a bit of muscle somewhere along the line. So yeah, I made that mistake in 2018 and any time since then, I think the lightest I've been on stage is about 71 and a half-ish kilo, somewhere in that marker. So I'm typically on the cusp of lightweight to middleweight with most natural federations.
Right. So are you going to be competing only in pro shows, natural shows, or are you doing a mixture of untested as well?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet.
It's one of those. I think a lot of this season's going to be determined by the results. So I know what my main show is going to be. I'm not actually a WNBF pro. I'm one of the few world champions not to win a pro card.
So you're a judge and a world champion, but not a pro.
Yes,
That's
yes.
strange.
Yeah, so the year I won my class at the Worlds and Amateurs, they only awarded pro cards to the top three in the overall. And I was up against, obviously there's five in the overall, and I think I came fourth in that. So I just missed out in the pro card then. Um, and yeah, obviously I've won my British title through the IBFA. They don't award pro cards. So yeah, I'm not a pro yet. Yet, hopefully.
Interesting. Interesting. Um, okay. So how long have you been personal training for?
I've been, I say working in the gym industry since I was like 18, so that is the best part of 20 years now. I've been doing like personal training guises as a career option really from when I was 21. So yeah, about 15, 16 years I've been working in that kind of element of the fitness industry. I've done gym instructor work, personal training work, gym manager for a period, and then elevated and went on to do online coaching more recently.
Um,
Have done a hybrid between one-to-one personal training and online coaching because I love working one-to-one with people. But with a family and things like that, it's quite hard to manage a diary as a full-time PT and actually get to see your kids.
this is it. Yeah, I've been through that before. Not as an online coach. That's something I'm transitioning into now.
Yep.
But the personal training and then trying to do a prep as well, it was an absolute nightmare. So kudos
Yeah.
to you for managing to steady the ship on that one because
It's got its challenges. I will say though, like one of the best things you can do through a prep is keep yourself busy. You know, like there's nothing worse than being hungry and bored. Like that is
yeah,
usually a recipe for disaster. But yeah, I've always found keeping myself busy through a prep is like one of the best things you can do. And the good thing with having two young kids at home as well, when you're at home, you're not really like just sitting relaxing. You're like kept busy the entire
yeah,
time as
you're
well.
engaging. Yeah.
Yeah.
So um, when was 2021 your last competitive season?
No, I did 2024. I competed in 2024, which is it's probably the best physiques that I've put on a stage in 2024 by a distance, and I never won a show, which kind of shows you the elevation of natural bodybuilding in it as well. I think the quality of competitions that I'm going in to do are a bit higher caliber now. So every single show that you go into is stacked. Like I'm really prioritizing WNBF pro qualifiers, and anytime you do them across Europe, yeah, there's always some monsters that show up.
Yeah, yeah, yes. The standard is getting crazy, and
Yeah,
that's another. I mean, this isn't about me. This is about getting to ask you some questions and some points of consideration. But um, I know that for me to be competitive to the guys in the classes that I can do, I need an off season.
yeah,
You know, like the
yeah.
physique I had last season, it was okay, but
It was pretty better than okay, mate. It
it
was
was no,
pretty much better than okay.
the guys who I'm looking across and I'm thinking, okay, I know I need to bring certain things up, and I need an off season
Yeah,
to grow the muscle for it because you know. And another reason why some of the stuff that you post resonates with me is that you say a lot of what I'm thinking that I don't say online.
yeah. I
Yeah, so it's
like
not gonna
that.
be. It's almost like this guy's talking for me. You know, um, yeah, it's like in terms of like tracking your calories. I think you mentioned something a couple of months ago, like tracking your calories. You know, you don't have to, in my opinion, you don't have to go for a fine tooth comb. It's right. Personally, I know what um, protein foods I like. I know what carbs I like, and I know what fats I like. That's
Yeah,
personally for me. So I don't have to track everything because I spent enough time eating the same type of foods.
yeah.
You know, so as long as I don't go under it too much or over it too much, I know I'm okay.
Exactly. And I often think that amongst our generation, um, food tracking or a more flexible approach to dieting gets a bad rep. It's almost seen as a competition to see how much junk food you can fit into a diet and hit your macros. Whereas that
Yeah,
should never really be the case. It's just a bit allowing you a little bit more flexibility. Like as you said, I've got about 3 or 4 go-to protein sources, but I'll maybe get bored of chicken breast for a while. I need to get some more fats in, so I'll substitute fats out somewhere and put some red meat in. So
yeah,
I'll have a little bit more steak, 5% beef mince, things like that. So it allows a bit of variety without you going clinically insane with it. I've competed now since 2013. So I've done 6 seasons within that. And one of the things that I've found is I've always struggled on the reverse side of a diet when my diet has been ultra restrictive and repetitive for months on end. Whereas when I've allowed myself a little bit of flexibility, and when I talk about flexibility, it's like having an extra 20 grams of chocolate in a day. You know what I mean? I'm not going and smashing boxes of Pop Tarts. It's just little bit of thing just to maintain my sanity. Then my reverse out of the diet's been substantially better. I've had less food focus. I've not been ready to go and dive into a KFC and buckets of Ben and Jerry's and
yeah,
donuts and everything after a show. I've not had that urge because I've maybe not had it for the last couple of months of a prep. as opposed to not had it for the entirety of the prep, which could be 6 or 8 months. But as you know, natural athletes, like we need to diet longer because we've got to preserve that muscle tissue.
Yeah, yeah. Another point you made as well, that stood out to me, is the timeline of your season. I think you also mentioned not
Yes.
this this is the this is the post about. I was like, I've got to message this guy about starting the season too early and burning yourself out. That's pretty much what you were alluding to.
Yes. And that's something that I've seen myself on the judging table with obviously doing that with the WNBF, which is traditionally towards the end of a season. I'm a massive natural bodybuilding fan. I go to numerous shows. I work with Pit Stop Nutrition as well, so we're at a lot of the natural PCA shows. So I see athletes throughout the year. And with the shows being later in the year, you often find the ones that are absolutely nailed on in July, August. By the time you get to October, they just struggle to get that fullness. They flatten out to the point where you just can't claw it back. And it's a mistake that I've made, as I mentioned, in 2018. I dieted myself to oblivion. I think it's a mistake that almost every natural athlete has to experience before you truly appreciate. Like I chat quite often with people and I reference, do you know the young boy Josh Campbell?
I know of him.
Yes, so Scottish guy, I know him very well. And he's a walking testament of how he peaked probably in his first two shows in 2023. His physique deteriorated because he was a young boy and he was super lean for about 4 months. So
Right.
by the end, he
Right.
just really struggled to retain that fullness and get any kind of pop to his physique. And that's just, again, when you're natural, you've not got as much muscle as the untested guys. So
Yeah.
you've got to do one,
Yeah.
everything in your power to retain it. And two, you've got to bring fullness. Being super shredded without fullness is, yeah, it's not going to be as anywhere near as impressive a physique on stage.
And that's what happened to me. The BNBF, I was like, I can't. I mean, I didn't plan to um, do any more than one show after the BNBF, but after
Hmm.
that show, how I felt and how I looked, I was like, nah, that is the end of the road. That is just the end of it.
Yeah.
You know.
Was that the BNBF finals last year?
No, I got invited to it, but there's no
Yeah.
way I would have. I mean, I was abroad with my son anyway, for the
Yeah.
6 weeks
Oh,
holiday.
yeah. I heard you talking about that in our
Yeah,
previous
but
podcast. Yeah.
even if I wasn't, I just exhausted my physique.
Yeah.
Like I was done. I think the last
Yeah.
posing round. I mean, I wasn't going to win the overall at that show anyway. There's no way I was going to win the overall. I thought, let me just do it anyway for the hell
Yeah.
of it. But in the overall, I was dying. I was absolutely,
Yeah.
I was like, no, forget this, mate. Forget this.
Yeah, and with being natural as well, like we've got less tools at our disposal than what some of the untested guys have. And whether that's to kind of regain that fullness or whatever it may be, I always say the big difference between natural and enhanced bodybuilding is you can be more extreme when you're enhanced. You can be extreme on a dieting phase, you can cut calories super low and retain muscle tissue, and you can be extreme almost in between the windows between shows. Like I'm at the point now as well where I don't have off plans in between competitions anymore because it skews things too much for a week or two. Yourself, like you'll maybe be really full the first day, you'll hold a bit of water for 3 or 4 days after it. So you
Yeah,
never really get a true reflection of where your
yeah.
physique's at until like a week later, and you might have another show then. So yeah, again, there's all these kind of things you got to consider, and it's a learning curve for everybody.
I must say, I'm not just saying it because you're here. I am very impressed with the standard of. Okay, it's classed as British bodybuilding, but the Scottish people in particular, I don't know what they're putting in the Haggises up there, mate. But
Yeah,
the level is unbelievable. Um, yeah,
and it's
and you see,
funny, like, because there's a lot of little hubs of natural bodybuilders across Scotland as well. Because it's such a massive area. Like up in Aberdeen, there's loads of really good guys up in that end in the
mm,
north. Where I'm from, is a small town down the southwest corner, but like it's a tiny little town, but it's like produced 3 or 4 natural bodybuilding champions, and it's got one gym in it. You know what I mean?
that's crazy.
Like you'll know Kiffy West.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to mention him.
Yeah, yeah, we're
He's
from the same
yeah.
town, so I did
Oh
his gym
right,
induction. Yeah,
really?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he is a serious dude.
He's
He
a
is one
monster.
serious dude,
He's a
absolute
monster.
monster. He probably hasn't even because he's quite young, isn't he? Probably hasn't even peaked yet.
Yeah, yeah. What will he be? Mid to late 20s now?
late 20s.
Yeah, mid to late 20s. And I'll die in the hill that a natural bodybuilder should peak in their late 30s.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, in that time, just to develop that muscle tissue and really hold that kind of density on stage, it takes decades almost as a natural, as opposed to
Yeah.
5 or 6 years untested.
Yeah,
But yeah,
he's a
it's
freak.
scary to think he's going to grow more.
Yeah, absolute freak. And obviously, Robert Colley, right?
Yep, yep. Robert's one of the one. I think he's even further north than Aberdeen. But I
Right.
classify anybody Aberdeen and North. I just classify as Aberdeen.
Do
Yeah, so you've got him up there along with Steve McDonald as well, who's exceptional.
you know? Do you know?
Um,
Do you know Suzanne Morrison?
yes, I know the name.
Yeah, she was a NPA judge,
Yes.
um, NPA judge, and her physique. I think she's. Don't have a go at me, Suzanne, if you see this. I think she's in her early 50s, but the
Mhm.
physique on that woman is. She could say she's 30
Yeah,
easily.
yeah. Does she judge with the BNBF as well, or somebody
She
else I'm
has done,
thinking of?
yes. Yeah, she has
Yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah. I know who you mean. But yeah, exact same. Exceptional.
Very, very impressive. Very impressive. I'd like to go up there one day and train. Definitely want to go up there
Definitely,
and
there's
train.
loads of really good gyms up here now as well. Again, which is something that's changed massively in the last 10 years. There's new gyms cropping up all over the place because there's a demand for it, and there's a demand for quality gyms as well. They're taking over from the pure gyms and whatnot. People want to go somewhere with good equipment, good atmosphere, and in my opinion, somewhere that's privately owned, I'll always prioritize.
Cool. Um, I don't know if I've watched this before. How many? So you don't know when your first show will be. Do you have a kind of idea of how many shows you're going to do?
Yeah, I reckon by pure coincidence, my last 3 seasons now, I've done 5 shows in each of them. So I reckon it will be in and around that. Again, how my season's going to look is going to be determined by results and uh, other elements. So my main priority is going to be the WNBF UK, which will be the first weekend in October. I will be doing one before then. I don't know where or when. And then I will be
Supernaturals.
doing, yeah, Supernaturals is going to be my main one.
That is crazy to think you'll be doing that as an amateur. That's
Yeah.
so. Did I have pro cards out at that show for to amateurs?
Yes, yes. So there'll be pro cards on offer there. And then depending on the result of that, if I win a pro card, that will determine one avenue. If I don't, then I'll go another avenue to try and give myself another opportunity to win that this year. So as you can see, like you're kind of in the position where you can't really make any decisions further than that because
Yeah,
they're based on what the outcome of that show is going to be.
cool. Do you mind if I ask do you mind if I ask how old you are? Because
I'm
you're
37.
37, so you could say
Yeah,
you're
so
28. You could say you're 28, and that goes to show, uh, you know, I was trying to preach this to people about natural bodybuilding. It takes years of your life if you do it right, because you could say
Mhm.
you're 28,
Yeah.
you know, by how you look, not by your maturity
Yeah.
and your experience, but it takes years of your life, literally.
It's quite interesting because I was at the pit stop stand for the PCA Universe
Mm.
last year, possibly the year before. And there was a girl that was chatting to, and she made a comment about how all bodybuilders are bald. And then she turned to me and goes, "But you're not bald." And then I laughed, and I'm like, "You've answered your own question there as to why that is."
Yeah, exactly, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Um, so what what differences do you find in terms of results that you're getting with clients online versus face to face? I'm very stuck in my ways with the face to face. I haven't transitioned to online coaching fully yet. So as someone who has done it, what um what are the benefits of the online versus the hands-on that you've noticed?
Right, Sean. So I'm the perfect man for you to speak to because I was the
Yes.
exact same mindset. I made the leap to go online because I was a gym manager at a place and I was seeking a road out. Put it that way. We'll leave it
Right.
at that.
Right.
Anyway, I was working with clients one to one, obviously, enjoyed doing it. and you can see massive benefits in it in terms of the execution of exercises. There's no better or more satisfying feeling than somebody not being able to do a squat, you going through a tutorial with them in a session and they can squat perfectly.
Yeah.
It's that nice.
Yeah.
You can see the improvements. It's brilliant. But when I've transitioned to going online, effectively I've seen other people doing it on the gym floor and thinking like I could do that. Like, not to blow my own trumpet, but I've had years of experience. I'm very good at what I do. I can
Mm.
apply that and get results for clients that way. When I took that leap, you can, the massive benefit to online coaching is you can take a more holistic view on the client. When you're in a one-to-one session, they do a warm-up, you'll have a chat with them while they're doing the warm-up, but it's very much a session exercise-based
Right.
discussions throughout. You're coaching them through those movements and making sure they're doing them effectively, safely,
Yeah.
getting the most out of that session.
Mm.
You've not got time in that, say, 1 hour's PT session to go into how's your nutrition been this week? What kind of food choices are you going through? What's your step count been at? How's your exercise? How's your sleep been? Is your stress levels high? Like, are you maybe binge eating in the weekends? Are you having any issues around that side of things? You've just not got time to go into it because you've got them for an hour and you want to maximize that hour from an exercise point of view.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're doing online coaching, obviously you can still incorporate an element of that kind of coaching through a session through videos. A lot of my clients, the age that they are, they're not comfortable videoing themselves in the gym. That's fine.
Mm.
But if they are, you can get a good bit of feedback through doing that means. But what you do get the opportunity to go into depth with is things like food choices, how their diet is structured, how much water they're consuming, their
Mm.
supplement regime, all those bullshit things that they're taking that they don't need to be taking.
Yeah.
How your sleep is, all your like systems around sleep. Are you sitting scrolling your phone until midnight and then having a shit sleep and wondering why? You can go
Mm.
into these questions with them and you'll know yourself once you get to a bit older in life,
Mm.
sleep's massive. It's
Yeah.
so, so important to try and protect and preserve that.
Yeah.
Because if you have a shit sleep, your injury risk is massively elevated, your performance level is massively decreased, your recovery is non-existent. There's loads of elements that come into it. Like my second child didn't sleep for the first 6 months of his life. He was a disaster zone. He did
No.
sleep, just
Yeah.
not at night when we
Yeah.
wanted him to.
Yeah.
But I was getting injured all the time in the gym. My training was appalling. My eating was awful as a result because you're stressed, you're not sleeping well, you're tired all the time. The easy options to pick up your phone now in order to take away. So anyway, you can go into all of these details with
Mm.
clients. So I've found I get far better results with online coaching in terms of body transformations. And it's how
Right.
you gauge those results. Like if
Right.
somebody is wanting to lose fat, online coaching is going to be a far greater tool for them as opposed to just one-to-one PTs. You can make sure they work hard and effectively within that 1 hour session, but that's going to be massively outweighed by what they do for the rest of the week.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Because that's true. Because it's more about what you do outside the gym than anything,
Yeah,
really.
yeah,
Um.
yeah.
Yeah.
As I said,
Very
just
true.
allows you that space to have a more holistic view of it. Because I was in the same headspace as you, like nothing's better than one-to-one PT. And it absolutely has its part. Like if you want to learn to execute these movements effectively and maximize your training, like do spells of one-to-one PT, absolutely. But if you're wanting to kind of maybe transform your lifestyle and have goals that link to that, then online coaching is a much more all-encompassing thing.
That is a very good explanation. That's the best explanation I've heard for the two.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you asked me that because I was in the exact same position as you. And even then that would have been 2021, 2022. So I was in my 30s by that point. I'm seeing all these young teenagers, early 20s guys doing it, and I'm like, that's their life, it's not mine. But
Yeah.
I've kind of took the plunge and I just treated social media as a job. You've got
Right.
to do these content in the week, you've got to do these outreach messages in the week, and I just treat it as a job. Any job, there's things that you don't enjoy doing that you've got to do. For
Yeah.
me, that's social media. I
Yeah.
absolutely don't like doing it, but it's a means for me to
Yeah. Yeah.
create a bit of content and attract the clients that I want to work with.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting. Um. I mean, do you have someone who does it for you? Do you have some?
Me as a coach,
Yeah. Do you do it all yourself?
yeah. So I work with Josh Krogan, who is a men's physique pro with the
Yeah.
WNBF.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard of Josh Krogan.
Yeah, so me and Josh actually met at the WNBF Worlds in 2021. So he was there making his pro debut. That's obviously where I won my world title. We were chatting then. Um, we just got on well. And then when I looked for a coach at the beginning of the end of 2023 to go into the 2024 season, I remember it was David actually you had on last week mentioned about the getting obsessive about a prep.
Mhm.
That is where my head naturally goes. So that is part of the reason that I wanted to work with a coach to take me out of my own head, take that decision making ability away from me, so that I'm not getting towards the latter stages and you overanalyze every
Yeah,
single decision you make. Do I need a refeed? Do I not? Do I need to take a deload? Should I push myself more? Should I do more
mm,
cardio? Should I do less cardio?
mhm,
You could drive yourself insane with it. And obviously, I'm in a position now in my life. I've got two young kids. I'm like, I needed out of that headspace. So Josh is somebody that I know well. I have got a very similar outlook to bodybuilding and nutrition and training and he's also somebody that I admire as a coach. So it meant
mhm.
that I could learn a bit about online coaching from him as well,
Yeah,
which again has been massively beneficial to me as a coach. But yeah, massively beneficial as an athlete as well.
that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Um, what else was I going to ask you? Um, if you got your pro card, and I really believe you will, I really
Thank
believe
you.
you will. Would you look to go to the worlds?
Yeah, yeah. My aim is to finish my season at the Worlds regardless, whether it's as a pro or as an amateur. If it's as an amateur, it gives me another opportunity to win a pro card. So yeah, regardless, I will look to go to the WNBF Worlds. I obviously need to secure a qualification spot with the Supernaturals, which is the first priority, and
Yeah.
then from there, again, we can dictate where the season goes. What I've done with the last two Worlds, actually, I've treated it as a family holiday as well. So first one I did was in 2021. It was in Vegas. So I said, right, my little girl was 2 at the time, so her first holiday was Vegas, which was pretty cool. So made a point. We booked holidays off from work, did the competition, had a holiday afterwards, and we did the exact same thing in 2024 in Boston. So again, booked time off work, and then after the competition, had about 10 days, I think, enjoying the city, and then back
Oh,
to
so
reality afterwards.
2024. So when you competed in 2024, was that the worlds as well? Was that also the worlds?
Yes, I finished at the Worlds in 2024 as well. So I've done that twice. I won it in 2021 and I
Yeah.
came fourth in 2024. And again, it's one of those things that I was substantially better as an athlete in 2024, but the class was stronger.
It's
It's
class was
one of those
stronger.
things.
Yeah.
Um, the top five at the Worlds in my lightweight category was four British guys. So like it shows you the strength of
Yeah.
British natural bodybuilding as well. I've always maintained that it's harder to win a British natural bodybuilding title than it is to win a world natural bodybuilding title. And that's as somebody that's won a worlds as well. So I'm not even
Yeah.
doing that as a bit of self-deprecation.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
There's so many good, amazing natural athletes in Britain that don't travel to the worlds, for financial reasons or whatever. And there's also a subsection as well that'll win a pro card there, so you don't have to compete against them at worlds. But yeah, it's massive in terms of the how strong the UK natural athletes are.
You've only got to look at the results last year. At the W, and that's just one federation. At the WNBF last year, there were loads of British men and women, loads.
Yeah, there was loads, wasn't there?
Mm,
And they all absolutely smashed it. And it's again a huge testament to the strength and depth of natural bodybuilding here. There's so many good young guys. I know you've mentioned it in your last couple of podcasts about the juniors right now,
yeah.
but like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're genuinely incredible, and there's so many of them as well. Like I always maintain, the top guys 15 years ago would stand toe to toe with the top guys now, but there's more of them now. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
like back 15 years ago, that one special bodybuilder, there was maybe one or two of them about. Whereas now you could probably rhyme off 10 or 15.
Yeah. Like I've got a few that follow me and I follow them. I think from the age of say 20 to 25. I'm looking around. I'm thinking unless there's people that I'm not seeing, I'm not aware of. I already know who's gonna win. I can tell who's gonna win what, but I'm just not saying
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's mad just how strong it is. And a lot of
Yeah,
it just depends as well on timings and whatnot around competitions and who does what because it's so condensed at the end of the natural bodybuilding season. You know, you've got BNBF finals, WNBF Supernaturals, PCA finals, all clumped quite close together. So you know, you need to wait and see where the things lie and who does what and who peaks for what as well. You know.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm glad I'm sitting this year out. I tell you that. But
I'm
yeah,
looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it.
yeah, you'll smash it. I can just tell. You know what you're doing, and your composition already in the off season. I'm like, yeah, yeah. Your legs are
Yeah.
something else, mate. Your legs.
I think I've got the opposite issue from you. I've spent my entire bodybuilding life trying to get my upper body to catch up,
Yeah,
you know. But yeah, like I'm lucky in the sense that I've got those, but I also worked for them. When I first started training, I absolutely obliterated legs every single week. I was vomiting during those sessions. The guy I was training with
yeah.
basically trained legs like a psychopath, and that's just the kind of mindset I took into it.
Mm.
And it's given me a great gift. The downside is I've got to work my balls off to get my upper body to catch up with it now.
But Martin, I've got to run as you have. You've got a million things to do.
Yes.
So respect to you for being an octopus and juggling everything because I know you've got a lot on your plate, and I'm glad you're still smiling during prep. You're smiling a lot more than I was.
It's all right. It's the very early stages right now. It's one of the perspectives you get the more you do this. You
Yeah,
know how tough it gets at the end, so you appreciate how easy it is at
yeah,
the start.
yeah. You're smiling now. Let's check in about 3 months and see.
We definitely need to do
Yeah,
that, by the way. Definitely
yeah.
need to do
If you're
that.
like, yeah,
I've
Martin.
got about 10 kilos still to go from here anyway, so yeah, there's a good bit still to come off.
So what you weighing now, by the way?
I am just under 83 kilos, so I was 82.7 kilo. And I said I'm on stage usually around 72 to 73 marker, somewhere around that window.
Cool, cool. Well, yeah. Look forward to catching up with you soon. Thanks
Thank you, Sean. Thank you for
for your
your time.
time, and yeah, good luck with your season. We'll catch up
Been an
soon.
absolute pleasure. And as I
Absolute
say, like,
pleasure.
love the podcast. I love what you're doing with some of the older athletes as well that have got so much experience to share, and they often don't get quite the platform that some of the younger, more influency ones are.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's great to hear those voices on these podcasts.
and I'm honoured to have you on, mate. All right, take care, man.
Amazing.